Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hello Word, the podcast where we explore the English language, one word at a time. I'm your host, Alex, and today's word is data. What is data? Well, simply put, data means facts or information, especially information organized for analysis or used to reason or make decisions. We encounter data every single day, often without even realizing it. Think about the weather forecast. It's based on data collected from weather stations and satellites. Or consider your favorite social media platform. It uses data to personalize your feed and suggest content you might like. Data is all around us. So, let's delve a little deeper. What are some words that mean something similar to data? These are called synonyms. A good synonym for data is information. For example, instead of saying the data shows a rise in temperature, you could say the information shows a rise in temperature. Another synonym for data is facts. We might say, present the facts clearly instead of present the data clearly. Another useful synonym is statistics. The government collects statistics on population growth can replace the government collects data on population growth. Similarly, we can use the word figures. The sales figures were up this quarter is the same as the sales data was up this quarter. And finally, consider the word details. Instead of saying we need more data about the project, you could say we need more details about the project. Now, let's consider words that have the opposite meaning of data. These are called antonyms. This is a little trickier with a word like data, but we can think about words that represent a lack of information or knowledge. One possible antonym is guesswork. While data is based on solid evidence, guesswork is based on speculation. For example, the decision was based on data, not guesswork. Another antonym could be assumption. Data is confirmed, while assumption is unproven. We proceeded based on data, not assumption. Another antonym is ignorance. His statement reflected ignorance of the data highlights the contrast. We can also use speculation as an antonym. The report was based on solid data, not speculation. Finally, consider the word misinformation. While data is accurate, misinformation is false or misleading. The article contained misinformation, not accurate data. Now, let's see how we can use data in everyday life. Imagine you're planning a trip. You might say, I need to collect data on flight prices and hotel availability. Or if you're working on a school project, you might say, I'm analyzing the data from my survey. If you're talking about your phone usage, you might say, I need to check my data usage so I don't go over my limit this month. If you are learning a new language, you can say, I need to memorize vocabulary data for the test. If you are at a doctor's office, they may say we need to collect your vital signs data. Here are some more usage examples in sentences and phrases. The research team gathered extensive data on the effects of exercise. The company uses data analytics to improve its marketing strategy. The data suggests that online learning is becoming increasingly popular. We need to process the data before we can draw any conclusions. The data entry clerk meticulously recorded the information. The data security is very important for this company. The data breach was a huge problem for that organization. The detective was trying to analyze the data from the crime scene. The scientist made an inference based on the data collected from the experiment. We need to keep the data confidential to avoid any security breaches. The professor gave us an assignment to analyze the data and write a report. The program collected lots of data and made the processing efficient. The company had a meeting to discuss the data and determine the proper steps. The system can collect data on the temperature and change the thermostat accordingly. The software helps users analyze the data and find the patterns. The doctor looked at the data and decided to change the patient's medicine. The company is investing in data analysis and machine learning. The team uses data modeling to forecast the economic future. We have lots of data, but we need someone to make sense of it. The news anchor presented data that supported the claim. They are learning to use data to help them with their daily activities. We must be mindful about how we collect and use personal data. The company needed more data to make a good decision. The company uses data to personalize the user experience. We need to back up the data on a regular basis, so we don't lose it. So, to recap, data means facts or information. We explored synonyms like information, facts, and statistics. We also looked at antonyms such as guesswork, assumption, and misinformation. And we saw how data is used in everyday conversations and in more formal settings. Thank you for joining me on Hello Word today. I hope you found this episode helpful. Before you go, please subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. Your support helps others discover the show. And finally, I encourage you to create your own sentence using the word data and share it as a comment below. I can't wait to read them. Until next time, keep learning and keep exploring the wonderful world of words.